Hi, this is Matt for Rogue Tactics. This here is one of my villain retaliation teams. I play Dice Masters and I play Hero Clicks, and I judge Dice Masters. So I think just the Hero Clicks influence makes me, when I set up, hey, this is what we're going to play this week, I try to come up with creative builds just to keep things interesting. Just playing the same team or deck over and over and over again is always got me as the boring part of Magic, so I didn't want to bring that into Dice Masters, which has a lot of similarities to Magic. So I just wanted to keep that totally out of the system at the venue that we play up. Oh, I play Judge at Mothership Books and Games, which is every Sunday at 2. So if you're in Austin, Texas, and you want to play some Dice Masters, you should totally go up there and play some Dice Masters with us. But yeah, this is for a really interesting build that we've played once before, and it seems to go well. But we call this one evens or odds. And all the cards on your team must either be all even costed or all odd costed. I mean, not the basic actions. Basic actions are pretty much immune to all the rules, so you get to use whatever you want for your basic actions. But all your non-basic character cards have to be even or odds. I went odds because I am obsessed with villain retaliation teams. I keep trying to make them work, seeing what I can do to make them work. Of course, the star of my team is the Black Manta Deep Sea Deviant. He's a 3-cost fist. He's the one with the retaliation trait that when one of my villains is KO'd, deal 1 damage to your opponent for each of your active villains, which can be a lot if I pull things out right. He's got a really low fielding cost. He's got some decent defensive stats that I'm He's the key to the team. He can take a couple of good hits and keep on living. The next star on my team is Cheetah, Cursed Archaeologist, the common 3-bolt. You're probably familiar with her. She's one of the best cards in the DC set. When Cheetah attacks, she deals 1 damage to a defending player. Yeah, 3 costs, good stats, 0-1-1 for her fielding costs. And I'm attacking with her, but I'm not really worried about her attack stat for damage dealing. The next one of my, 3-costers. I have a whole bunch of 3-costers that I use as my mate to grab villains early on. The next one is the Ultron Drone, the 1 of a million, the 3-cost fist. He's that crazy one with a capture an enemy character that's blocking Ultron zone. Oh, capture each enemy character blocking Ultron zone and then deal damage to defending character equal to its fielding cost. And then he's got that cool global play 2 fists, choose an opposing character die to block a character die of your choice this next turn. He's a good cheap villain for me, but most importantly, he's one of the few villains I'm going to be buying multiple copies of so that I can keep getting those double fist dice going on and capturing people and zinging them for their fielding costs. The next person on my team, she's kind of on there reluctantly just because there's not a lot of good, cheap villains. But this is Mystique Raven Darkholm. She's the uncommon from Uncanny X-Men. When Mystique gets +1 attack and defense for each other villain in the field. So she can conceivably get really big on my team, even bigger if my opponent's using villains as well. But she's really kind of pricey. She's got a weird fielding cost, like her level 1's got a 1 cost for a 1/1. Her level 2 is a 0 cost for a 1/1, and then her level 3 is a 2 cost 1/1 with a burst face that doesn't really apply to anything. So I'm paying a lot of energy for nothing to really go off. Her key feature is that she is masked. So if I ever run into somebody who's using Professor X, I can totally have some mask cycling through my team. The next part of my team is my win condition. It's the Deathstroke Weapons Master. He's a 5-cost common from Justice League. When he's fielded, deal 1 damage to an opposing player for each villain that you control. So my job is to grab a bunch of cheap villains to begin with, and then snag him, and then just keep busting him out there to blast him and deal more damage. Yeah, and then he's a reasonably priced, especially for Justice League. He's a 1/2/2 for fielding cost. And then he's a 3/3, 4/4, 6/6. So if I ever need an attack, which is not what I'm trying to do with my team, he could deal some decent damage if I did do. I've got 2 dice of him. To facilitate him, to make him work really fasting, I have the 7-cost Blue Eyes White Dragon rare from Yu-Gi-Oh! And she's got that once per turn you may knock out a, yeah, whatever, no one's buying you. He's on there for that global. Play a bolt and knock out one of your characters to reduce the cost of your next dive by 2 energy. He lets me buy my big guys for cheaper. If I've got Black Manta out, he triggers the Black Manta retaliation ability. So it's a lot of fun. I love Blue Eyes White Dragon. He finds it on a bunch of my teams, and I guess I'm gonna enjoy him while I can, because I'm assuming that he's gonna be phased out, as the older cards go, and they're not gonna, any sort of replacement's not gonna call it a KO, so it doesn't trigger KO effects, like, I guess similar to Magic when sacrifice became a thing, so you did actually die a guy and trigger death effects. Sorry, I played Magic back in the day, so I'm totally unfamiliar with what the current terminology of it, but yeah, I remember them introducing sacrifice and saying that you couldn't regenerate it or anything like that. The next, I guess, dude on my team is the Solomon Grundy, Buried on Sunday. He's the 5 shield rare from Justice League. He's in there for creature control. It's like, oh, you got somebody gross like John Constantine or somebody just jacking up my game. I pay a bolt for my Blue Eyes White Dragon, KO my Solomon Grundy, KO your dude, and trigger retaliation. So it's like a bonus. It's like I knock out your dude, I deal you some damage, and next turn I reroll him again. So if you reroll your dude again, I can KO your dude again and damage you again. The final guy on my team is Darkseid in Search of the Anti-Life. He's a 5-cost fist. I believe he's from the starter set. When Darkseid attacks, he deals damage equal to his level to target character or player. And I've been wanting to play this guy for a while. He's kind of like an afterthought. He's in there if I just happen to have, like, if I bought all my villains and I need to get another copy out there so I can deal more damage from Deathstroke. Joe, a longtime friend of the show, does Hero Clicks and Dice Masters with me. He beat me down with this guy really good because, like, he's on level 3. He's doing 3 damage to you just for attacking, and he's a beast. He's a 6/5. It's like, well, do I let him go and take 9, or do I block and take 3, but just keep taking 3? He's not. Darkseid puts you into some weird positions. For my actions, I have Distraction as my basic action. It says your opponent chooses 2 of her characters. Those characters can't block this turn. I'm using it for the global. Pay a master, move 1 attacker from the attack zone to the field. And that's mainly so that if I had just mass energy lying around, I could use Chida's effect or Darkseid attack, trigger those damage that's dealt upon choosing attacker, and then mask them back to my starting zone so that they don't get killed or they don't get sent through. And then my other action is Villainous Pact. It's the one where I can really screw over my opponent if they're not playing villains. Your opponent chooses 1 non-villain character. All other non-villain characters can't block this turn. And that could come into handy if I'm ever in a position where I can really want to attack with my guys, but I'm never going to do it. And this is just in here for the ramp. Global, play a mask once per turn. If I don't have anything in my prep area, I get to prep a dice. So it's like a more restrictive version of Resurrection. And if I need to, the action dice is useful. I guess I can't think of anything. And all my playtesting that I've done, it's always just been through, Deathstroke and Black Manta dealing just a ton of damage. But I'm eager to see how this goes against a live player. And see how it does. So that is my team. Thank you for watching. Again, a shout out to Mothership Books and Games, where we play Dice Masters every Sunday at 2. So if you're in the Austin area and you like Dice Masters, totally come check us out.